at Ferrari. I think any of us will agree that if they want to beat Lewis to the championship, then they're going to have to work out a way for Vettel and Leclerc to compete at their best without tripping over each other and without the team tripping over themselves in the process. So I feel like that last year, I mean, Sochi was just, when you look at it now, it was basically, they just handed this win over to Mercedes.
Yeah.
And it was, I know part of it was engine problem, but there were so many things going on. You just thought, what on earth are you doing here?
Yeah.
Why is this happening like that? It clearly was one, Vettel going against the team from one point. But, I mean, is that, it's so easy to sit here and say, oh, that's an easy fix, but do you think Ferrari is capable of managing that?
Yeah, so Vettel is, it's hard to, I shouldn't really say this, but he is the problem, right? I mean, he has underperformed.
Yeah, massively. If you think about the pedigree he has, 4-time world champion.
And you look at the mistakes he's made, and he has underperformed by his own standards, which he's admitted as well, and certainly by Ferrari's standards. Now, Leclerc, on the other hand, didn't have a perfect season last year, but it was very impressive for a rookie. And Ferrari have recognised that, and they've given him a 5-year deal. Now, in my mind, that 5-year deal says Leclerc is the number one driver from next year. Ferrari won't say that. They might not even action on it early in the year. But I think certainly if Leclerc shows what he's capable of and he gets a lead over Vettel in the championship early on, it will naturally gravitate towards him. And so this creates a big, big problem around Vettel, because Vettel is not the kind of guy who rolls over and says, all right, I'll be the number 2 driver, away you go. I mean,
well, famously, he's done, before. Right?
You just look at the examples. I mean, Russia, the most recent one. But then you can go as far back as the Red Bull days and the collision in 2010 with Mark Webber in Turkey, and then the Multi-21 situation with Mark Webber in Malaysia. And so there were all these incidents where Vettel just wouldn't accept it. And at this stage of his career, what has he got to gain by accepting being number 2 to Leclerc? So he won't do it. He won't do it.
You can argue as well, like if you're looking at legacy, which maybe us journalists focus on too much, but he's already kind of, the end of his career looks so bad compared to the start of his career, that he's not going to, and he's a student of F1. He loves the history of F1. He knows the significance of the lull he's in right now, and just rolling over to Leclerc, people will say, well, those 4 championships. It's very easy to say it was all the car in Formula 1. People do that all the time. If you underperform after you've had a dominant spell like he has, I don't buy it. I think he was, at that time, was a great driver and still is, just lacking any sort of confidence that he used to have. So I agree with you. I think get rid of Vettel. But then again, it's easy to say get rid of Vettel. I think Vettel probably still brings some stability to that team in terms of the knowledge he brings. Because it'd be fascinating to know how Leclerc's feedback has been to the team, and whether he's just got into the car and just naturally performed at a high level, and whether Vettel's kind of doing a lot of the hard work behind the scenes that he's always done, but it's just coming short on the track. So Ferrari know that better than us, and that might be a reason for him to stay longer. But
yeah, maybe. And I don't think there are a real serious issue with the personal relationship between Leclerc and Vettel. I think that's actually still probably pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just it's that pressure when they're on the track together, and all of the stuff that we just talked about going around in Vettel's head, and how does he react to it. So, we're not at Hamilton-Rosberg levels of problems. And let's not forget, we had Hamilton-Rosberg for 14, 15 and 16, and Mercedes still won the championship.
Yeah.
So if the car's good enough, like the two of them can coexist and have this thing. The only thing is that they're going up against the mighty powerhouse that is
I was going to
Hamilton,
be the devil's advocate.
Mercedes, and with that as your competition, you can't afford to have a weakness. And this is one very obvious weakness, even before we've seen the car rolled out, that has the potential to flare up. Now, if it's managed properly, if it's managed in a way by smarter minds than you and I, because I can't personally see a way around it. But I'm sure Binotto's got a strategy in there, and he's an incredibly smart guy. So if he can find a way to get that to work, they can win the championship. I think the car can be good enough.
Yeah.
But if there's this kind of slight weakness, then Mercedes will prey on it. And I think that Mercedes would probably win the championship in that instance.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.